Hello, everyone. I think I'm just going to start billing myself as the only sane one on this broadcast.
Jingle bells, Batman smells, Robin.
There we go. Cranky isn't cranky anymore. Alyssa's cranky.
You know what I want to see in the forest? I want to see a unicorn. Want all you want. Wish in one hand, but poop in the other.
All right. Primal Homer says, Patrick, you said you're approaching retirement, so I was wondering what is your most memorable project? Your line description of the creation of Claymation Christmas is fascinating, but I'll bet there are some other fascinating stories to tell. By the way, I really liked Claymation Christmas when it came out. It was different than the other usual children's Christmas specials.
Okay. So all the projects that I've done, in my entire life, oh my God.
Memorable project.
Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different things. So I kind of, here's the thing, I kind of run my life in 10-year cycles. And so at one point I'm doing a lot of, soundtrack work. Then I have advertising work, and then whatever. My most prolific era, I did something like 78 workout videos for Nordic Track. So they all had I had this machine that allowed me to, or this program that allowed me to actually change the beats per minute and still make it sound musical and everything else. So it was really challenging, but I for like 3 years, that's about all I did was these beats per minute Nordic Track things. That's how I paid the bills. So I've had really weird projects, lots of weird projects.
Okay. Let's see. Tippy Tip.
I'm like, I think I saw one of those videos.
You probably did. You probably did. Yeah, they're hilarious.
All right. Tippy Tippy says, how did each of you become involved as an Addicts writer? And what are your careers outside of Addicts?
Okay, mine. I mean, I've written about it a million times. So.
Well, Pat kind of just answered his, so we don't have to.
Yeah.
So I got involved by helping out with a couple of blogs here and there, or a couple of posts here and there, I should say. I think Wookiee farming was my first one, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember.
You did some prize posts too, I think, to help me out.
Before that, yeah, maybe I did some prize posts first. And then job outside of work, I'm a research coordinator. So whenever there's a new drug, I test it out on kids or people.
I was going to say, I tested it on myself. I take a lot of drugs. That's my job.
So do a lot of studies with kids with peanut allergy. So treat kids with peanut allergy predominantly.
Huh.
That's interesting. I never knew that. I always assumed you did math.
I didn't know that either.
Because every time I talk to you, you're like, oh, we're having an audit. And I'm like, oh, that sucks. Like, I just assumed you were an accountant.
Wow.
Interesting, because my nephew's allergic to peanuts, so that's interesting.
That peanut guy with the top hat must hate you.
No, he loves me because I'm getting kids who hate peanuts to start eating peanuts.
Oh, so you're in league with the top hat guy.
I am. He's paying me. No, I'm kidding.
You're the guy that says that the immunology has to do with eating more peanuts early on, right? Is that the deal? Yeah.
Well, I've been eating lots of peanuts during my pregnancy, so this kid's getting lots of
nuts. No, but we do other stuff. Like I do studies for adults with grass allergy, dust mite allergy, ragweed allergy, different medical conditions and asthma, and all sorts of allergy and immunology.
Wow.
Research studies.
We're all learning something fascinatingly new about Safi. This goes to show you how close we really are with Safi. We didn't even know. He's like Chandler of the group. No one really knows what he does. Numbers.
It got weird. I actually thought you were like an actuary for an insurance company.
We all thought it had to do with numbers.
I swear to God. Yeah, I swear to God. That's cool.
I personally, I thought he was a Mountie, but that's me. He's from Canada. Is it everybody a Mountie or a hockey player?
That's right.
It's funny when Alissa was like, "Oh, Joe and I have been really good friends. And Pat and I have been friends from time to time. And then it kind of just stopped off. I was gonna be like, and you and I have been like cordial acquaintances.
Safi didn't even want to tell me when his birthday was. Okay, I had to like drag it out of him. So, but Canadians
I didn't hesitate not to tell
nice
you.
and friendly, you know.
I didn't want to trouble you with having to get me a gift.
Don't worry, I don't get gifts.
We find out it's in the witness protection program. Basically, what it is.
Joe,
he killed somebody with a peeling allergy. So that's right.
I'm still picturing Safi in a top hat with a monocle.
You saw my Halloween costume from last year?
I mean, it's me and Alyssa's story because Alissa had the idea to start a TSTO blog because one was exploding, and we've been doing it now for 5 years. We met through TO UK, and yeah.
I mean, everybody knows my story because I've written about it, right? I mean, that I was on Tips, and then we imploded Tips, et cetera, et cetera. We don't have to go through any of that, right? I've written about it 1,000,000 times.
Tips to us, to not liking us, to friends, back to us.
No, we were actually at one point tandem friends and addicts, and then it fell apart and whatever. I don't want to go there.
Yeah, we're good.
It was never you. It was never you ever.
That was just me. He just hated me.
No, it wasn't me either.
Let's see. I am involved as a writer on Addicts because it's my site. It's a good reason why. And my career, I actually have a job outside of the site. What did you say?
I said, "Oh yeah, the job thing."
The job thing. Yeah, I actually have a job. No, I am a sales manager. I'm a regional sales manager for a metal manufacturing company. So I like to say I am like Michael Scott. Jokes and brilliant jokes and all.
With metal.
Okay. And I am the skipper at the Jungle Cruise. That's what I do. If you want the funny, that's where I work. And sometimes on the steam trains, and sometimes in the Temple of the Forbidden Eye. But I'm a lead now. So
sometimes along the parade.
No, not
sometimes
anymore,
along the parade. Oh.
Yeah, and I just got a raise and full time. So woo, there we go.
Congrats.
But you're also in school.
I am starting my master's program August 27th.
Yes. All right. Texas Stage says, what happened to the TSTO app? The TSTO Addicts app, I presume, is what you're talking about. We haven't supported that in over 2 years, I think.
It was bought. Wasn't it bought by Movie Pass? It was bought by Movie Pass.
It was bought by Movie Pass. No, the guy that
bought by the Scientologist.
The guy that did it, it was hard to communicate, get everything situated. We just haven't supported it in like over 2 years. It just was more of a hassle than it was worth. So that's what happened to it. And we asked him to pull it off the App Store 2 years ago, and I guess he finally pulled it off the App Store now. Yeah. Keith One Rune 991 says, do you think the game is more fun or less fun now, or better at the beginning? And do you play the game more now or more at the beginning? So is the game more fun now, or was it more fun 6 years ago for all of us, or 5 years for Safi? And do you play the game more now or more 5 or 6 years ago?
It's all relative. I mean, like anything else, if you do it a ton for 6 years, you're going to ebb and flow. There's different things that you're going to forget you thought were cool. At the beginning, it was really kind of a big pain in the butt. It didn't work very well. You had to really grind. It was like so surprising to get a free donut here and there. And I keep reminding people that back in the day, it was really rare to get a free donut, period. Now there's so many different ways to get free donuts. If nothing else, now it's easier and maybe more boring because of the grindtastic part of it, but way more content, obviously, way more stuff going on. At the very beginning, it was just hard. It was hard to really make it make sense. And then there was the wheel. Oh, God. Oh. Anyway. They were really feeling their way around in the beginning. They made a lot of mistakes that they have eliminated since then. So there's been so many improvements that have made the game easier and faster and whatever. It's hard to say, yeah, I'd like to go back to the old days when we had to hand crank the telephone to make it work. So anyway.
Joe?
Those points by Pat are great. Like, I still play it the same amount. If there's an event, I play it more because that's just the way it works. Because blogging about this and playing for 6 years, like, you learn you can't always be in your game every 4 hours. Like, you'll burn out. So you take your break. When you get your break, you design a little if you have time, and then when there's a grinding event, you grind and you get your things. But I've been playing so long, I have everything, and I can earn a bunch of free donuts really fast by farming because my multiplier is ridiculous. And one of the benefits of the blog is, yes, I have everything. And I still love this game. Literally, I still play it once a day, no matter what. I read TSTO Addicts a lot more than I used to when I was writing for it all the time because I miss the hilarity of Alissa and Safi and Pat. I love it. And I listen to every Addicts Live that I'm not on there. Like, I'm like, man, this site's great. I read it this morning and I was like, wow, I am such a nerd. Like, I should not. I see behind the veil. I know everybody, but I love it. And I get why the site's still around 5 years later, honestly, because I still enjoy it.
Because I'm funny, is what you're telling me.
I'm telling you, Liz, when some of my friends have started playing because, like, I pulled it out and they were like, oh, that's cool, that Krusty Line thing. And they asked me questions and I was like, friends, there is this site, TSTOaddicts.com, that will give you all the answers. And the moderators are really nice. You can ask questions.
Thanks.
And, you're welcome. And they were like, wow, that site's good. Do you go on there sometimes? I'm like, I do sometimes. And this left it at that. It was pretty funny.
Well, Andrew will tell you, don't say that I'm funny because it just gives me a big head. Like, he tells Riley not to laugh at my jokes because then it just encourages me. So
I think you're funny, Liz.
Glad someone does. Saf, forgot what we were doing.
Sorry, yeah. I pretty much play as much as I do now, or my total time in Tapped Out is more or less the same. I found that maybe I spend a little less time in the game and more time on the blog or in the community with comments and stuff, but I still consider that Tapped Out time. Same as Wook, when events come, I'll pick it up a bit. I used to play it a lot initially when I was pretty much unemployed and broke, so I had nothing to do but play the game. Obviously, job cuts into that a bit.
That would be a significant part of our demographic, actually. Out of work, broke, bored. I can only afford 6 donuts. That's why I farm. Anyway.
But yeah, I would say it's just as fun.
Yeah, I mean, like anything, the beginning is always the best because everything's new, everything's exciting. I definitely played Tapped Out way more in the beginning, but because you had to, because everything was, you had to level up. Now that you're at this point where you've reached the max level, you can play an event, you've been playing for so long that it's just easy. You don't have to log in like everybody else. You don't have to log in every 4 hours. You're still okay. Mm-hmm. I still get excited when events come. I will say that. And then I find out sometimes what the event is and I get very disappointed, but like, I will tell you, Christmas this past year, you guys all saw me. I was like pure joy for me. So I still get plenty of enjoyment out of the game. And it's, it's still new because I still update everything. So it's,
It's really a unique game. That's the point, is that, my grandsons now are into all of the multiplayer games, all that stuff. You don't really get out of that. You're there for 3 hours grinding your brains out, killing things, moving things, whatever. TSTO, the beauty of it is it moves so slowly in its own way that you're just kind of cruising along. And back in the early days, I mean, we used to complain that it was so slow because it was an update every 2 weeks, every Thursday, every Wednesday, whatever it was. I think they flipped it from Thursday to Wednesday. We all freaked out. But the deal is that you were done with the update probably 4 days, 5 days ahead of time in most cases, and you were waiting around, or else the servers went down for 3 or 4 days. So, and we kept coming back.
Ghoul asks, "Are you guys friends outside the blog?"
Yeah.
I'm best friends with
everybody but Safi. Everybody but Safi. And just because he's Canadian, we have something against him because he's Canadian. That's
You know, the thing is, we had dinner when we were back. We had dinner when we were back in New Jersey that last time, and Safi could have come down. It's not that far, Safi. You know, that's
true.
Missed some
Toronto down to New Jersey is not that far. So anyway, next time we come back, I'm going to make sure you come down.
And I wasn't invited to the Jersey dinner, so apparently no.
Well, 3,000 miles is a little far, man.
I know. I'm just kidding.
For dinner.
We'll have peanut butter sandwiches, Safi, when you come out. So.
Ooh, yeah.
The answer is yes, we're friends outside the blog. I consider Joe like my brother from another mother. No matter how long we go without talking.
Oh, yeah.
Or whatever it is, I know that Joe will be there if I need him.
We've been through too much.
Way too much.
I'm the crazy drunk uncle. Just say it.
Pat is my.
I was just say great grandfather.
Oh.
Pat is the guy I bitch to all the time. Yeah. I will say that. Yes, you should see some of my text messages back and forth with Pat. I'm telling you now, Pat gets a lot of my pregnancy rants, and they're not directed at him. But
no.
And I always warn him, like, incoming pregnancy rant. I'm just telling you.
What's up with that? You've turned it like the Jerry Seinfeld of TSTO. What's up with that?
What's the deal with TSTO?
So yeah, and Saf, you know, when I do get to talk to Safi when he's not super busy with what I apparently thought was accounting. We're all friends. I was hoping Safi would get to come out to our meet and greet last summer, but he wasn't able to make it. So hopefully next time we're able to get something together.
Tell you Niagara Falls, it's the perfect place, right between two countries.
Well, it works out too because like Pat's daughter lives out here, so he comes out. So you know, we try to get together when he's out this way. And Joe and I have just known each other forever at this point, so it's like. Yeah. You know, we try to get together when we can. So yeah, but yes, we are all friends outside this blog, minus our Canadian.
Like Canadian Flanders. Like Homer loves Flanders.
Life wouldn't be the same, but
this goes back to the original thing we were talking about, how hard it is to talk about TSTO with other people. Who else would have us? I mean, that's why we're friends. Who else would have us?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I always get asked the question from people, how's your little blog thing going? And I'm like, I don't like to talk about it because I get irritated because they don't know what they're talking about. But I'm like, oh, it's fine. My little blog thing is fine. Then I'm like, yeah. Anyway. Tracy, 1LT Woody 920 says, Alissa, what's your shoe size? 9.5.
You're getting. She's gonna buy you shoes.
Apparently.
Yeah.
But the only shoes that fit my feet right now are Crocs and flip flops. So.
That's all you wear, anyways.
It's true. It's true. It's nice that I can wear them to work. I haven't worn socks I haven't worn socks since April. So it's been nice.
There you go.
Simpsonian says, what mobile games do you play besides TSTO?
0.
So I'm a Batman fan, DC fan. So I play Injustice and DC Legends.
On your phone?
On my iPad.
Oh, don't tell me that. Now I'm like, please do tell.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I like playing little trivia games. HQ and Heads Up and what's it called 91 seconds, etc.
Books.
I play Futurama, Worlds of Tomorrow, Disney Kingdoms, then that Futurama bubble game thing. I forget what it's called. Emoji Blitz and Angry Birds Pop. Those are my rotational games, and I can easily waste an hour of my life on all those apps before I do anything else.
Yeah, I don't think I've even played another game except for Angry Birds back in the day. That's it. I'm just not a gamer. So,
I have played Futurama. I have played Family Guy, but full disclosure, I have deleted both of them from my game.
Yeah,
or from my phone, I should say. Despite the fact that I still own sites based on both of those games. I sometimes will play, matchy games like Homescapes or whatever, just to kind of, if I'm bored. But what I've really gotten into lately, this is kind of funny, is the slot machine video games where you gamble fake money, not real money, but you still get to play the slot machines because those are fun. And you get the bonus rounds; those are even better. So yeah, that's the extent of it. Cozy59 says, they say you can tell a lot about a person by the music he or she listens to. Okay, it's me who says that. I can't speak for anyone else. Anyway, I have yet to see any Sunday random playlist from any of you. I'd like to know what sort of music you like. If I had to guess, I'd say Alissa, the soon to be again mom, probably gets down to Mothers of Intention. Star Wars obsessive Wookiee would be into psychedelic noodlings of astronomy, Domine era Pink Floyd, and maybe Ziggy Stardust era Bowie. Safi's a Canadian and a whiz with numbers. See, everybody thinks you're an accountant. Whiz with numbers and calculations and stuff. So obviously he'd be into math, rock, like Toronto's The Bulletproof Tiger. And Patrick loves his golf, so he must enjoy swing. Am I close?
No.
Not even. Well, I don't know about Saf. Safi might like Toronto's The Bulletproof Tiger. I don't know. But no, you're not even remotely close. Who wants to go first?
I'm too eclectic. I mean, music is every part of my life for so many years and forever. So my spectrum is huge in regards to what I like. It's the old desert island thing. If I had to take 10 albums, I'd just shoot myself. Done with it. But it's, I mean, everything from Little Feat to Tom Waits to Randy Newman to, I mean, it's huge. And I listen to a lot of new music as well. I just there's no way to tag it. I've posted a couple of those lists, and there's actually a couple people on this site that I looked at the list. I thought that's a pretty hip list. It's pretty eclectic and cool. But I guarantee you I have stuff on my listing list that nobody else has heard. I'm guaranteeing that. So a lot of indie bands.
Look.
I mean, I'll give you credit because I do like both of those bands. However, I'm like Pat. I'm very, very eclectic. Like if I had to pick something to listen to, it's either going to be like ska from when I was a teenager because it makes me really nostalgic and it's fun. Like it's good driving music, or punk rock. But honestly, I cut the cord on the radio. What I guess it'd be like 3 years now, huh, Liz? I just started listening to podcasts, which led into like me playing around with my own thing. Like the newest song I pulled was Glenn Campbell's "I'm Not Gonna Miss You," which like made me cry. That song, like if you want to listen to a song that just like you'll tear up and be like, oh my goodness, because he wrote this with Alzheimer's. Glenn Campbell's "I'm Not Gonna Miss You." That's the newest song I've listened to. I just pulled up, but literally that's what my iPod's great for. I've got so much weird music on there, and I put it on shuffle. And I'm like, why do I have a song from High School Musical? Oh, yeah. My oldest kid was into that like 7 years ago. You know what I mean? And why is there so much My Chemical Romance on here? Oh, yeah. My kid shares an iTunes with me. So
blame the kids.
Yeah. No, I like some My Chem. I do. But yeah.
I'm concerned that I'm going to kill iMusic or Apple Music just like I killed MoviePass because for $9 a month they are really losing money on me. I'd probably download 30 albums a month at least.
But they're gaining. Like I actually read about that because their sales were plummeting because people can just rip from the internet or whatever.
Napster.
But when they offered that subscription service, people are down with having legitimate ways to get the money and not feel like a thief, but then also feeling like they're stealing from the company. Yeah,
the problem is the artists aren't. We don't go down that road. The artists are getting a real small fraction on that one, but I have succumbed. I'm that guy. So I'll read a book and remember 13 albums that I liked in 1971, and I'll download all of them. So. Anyway,
Saf.
Yeah, same. I'm pretty eclectic too. I got a bunch of everything. Like, there's no genre I don't like. Maybe polka music, but other than that, pretty much everything. I think the two most recorded artists I have on my playlist are ironically Beatles and Akon, which are like two totally different genres. So
wow.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, both of them. I was just checking. I had like over 40 songs from both of them.
But do you know who the Bulletproof Tiger is?
I looked them up, and yeah, I'm familiar with
I was like, I've never heard of them, but they're from Toronto, so Safi.
I like a lot of acapella music too, actually, surprisingly.
Yeah,
if it's good. I mean, for me, if it's good, I like it. You know,
Yeah.
I just don't have a. I've produced so much music. I've been in so many studios. I've been in all bands, all kinds of stuff. So there's really no limitation to what I will listen to if it's good, if it's well played, if it's well conceived. That's kind of the things. I don't care.
yeah.
So
I mean, you were saying you don't like poke. You just have to speed it up. Then you have flogging. You know, you really got it going on.
Not just I got country music. I got everything. Jazz. I got everything on my list.
So I will listen to anything except for no Hanson, no Manson. That's my favorite expression. No Hanson, no Manson.
Wow.
Is that your bumper sticker too?
Yeah, exactly. But I love country music. Like, country music is what I listen to, but I like country music that I grew up with. So I hate new music. I can't listen to any new music. It drives me crazy. So I listen to, like, I have satellite radio. So I listen to a lot of Y2 country. And I always say, if a song's on that station that I don't know, it shouldn't be on that station.
You do realize I'm laughing right now, right?
Yes, it's okay.
Because no, I'm just saying, you're how old are you? You're not even 30, are you?
I'm 33.
Oh, you're okay. So you're 33. So the stuff that you won't listen to is like 15 years old, right?
No, I won't listen to new stuff. Like, if it just came out, I won't listen to it. I can't.
But what's old to you? That's the thing.
Well, the stuff that I grew up with, like, I'll listen to a lot of pop rocks too on satellite radio because that's all music that I grew up with. So, like, The Way by Fastball, like, I love that song.
Yeah.
Closing Time, like, all those are classics that I grew up with. I know it sounds funny because, like, most people think it goes back 15 years. This stuff's from the early 90s or the mid 90s.
Yeah.
So, but that's what I tend to listen to. But country music, like any song by Kenny Chesney, he's one artist I will listen to new music on. I love me some Jimmy Buffett too. And I'm supposed to go to a Kenny Chesney concert on August 18th, but
Kenny can play. That boy can play.
Yes, I love me some Kenny Chesney. Mm-hmm. And no one puts on a concert like Kenny.
No, Garth Brooks is the best country showman. Sorry, but yeah, I've been to both.
That's one of those debates. I mean, then you can go real broad on that one. But
yeah, they're both really good showmen. But Kenny's
country. I mean, my favorite quote right now is that country's the rock and roll I used to listen to. I mean, because
that's what it is now. Yeah, it's not country anymore.
Yeah,
that's funny.
That's one of the reasons why I don't like new country, because it's not country.
But guys,
I said that about the country that I listen to. So
yeah, Vince Gill can cross over. That guy can play guitar like a monster. There's a few of those guys that are just incredible musicians that are from both eras.
Well, now they're just rapping.
No, the new country's just silly.
They even got Toby Keith rapping. He just needs to grow a mullet and go back to his roots.
Yeah, but see, when I start actually hearing programmed drums, when you're basically running a drum machine program behind it, if you want to call it that, programmed drums, that's when you've crossed over into Stupidville. So it's like, no,
that's the key to Stupidville.
It is.
We found the key to Stupidville, guys.
Yeah,
we found the key.
That's the name of the book about your life, The Drum Machine to Stupidville.
Yeah, probably true.
All right. Ethan Waldner says, what keeps you guys going? Like, after the last event, I was swarmed with bugs that still plague my game. And even without the bugs, the event completely killed off my enjoyment of it. Mostly the third act, I assume is what he meant to say. Luckily, we have a good mini event where I can wind back. Just curious how you guys stay through all of it. Habit?
The readers, the comments, the community.
Repetition?
Yeah, pretty much like this whole community, the blog. It keeps me coming back, keeps me engaged, keeps it fresh.
Yeah, I mean,
you just do.
And I think there might be something to being one of the first people on the server too, because I think a lot of the problems they're having are new additions on new servers. I have not had any lags. I've had nothing. I've had no real anything.
You better knock on some wood because you heard what happened when I said I wish the Red Sox all came down with hand, foot, and mouth disease. So you better.
Yeah, but the devil is a Red Sox. You know that. So anyway.
Yeah, I was say the same thing. Like very rarely do we get hit with bugs. I mean, every once in a while I'll get something funny, but very rarely. Like knock on wood, I don't think any of us had the rollback glitch. Very early in the beginning, Joe had a massive glitch during Halloween where his Lisa went missing.
Homer
went missing, and then something happened with Sacagawea Lisa too, didn't it?
Yeah, and then my tunicorn took a vacation. And now I have 2 tunicorns, but only one can go in my town.
That's me. I have 2 Stork the Ducks, and only one can go in my town.
Yeah, but I have one in my inventory that just sits there, like lonely.
We have so many characters now. I can't even really keep track of them. In fact, it's gotten to the place now where I was clearing a bunch of stuff today, and I went, "Oh yeah, I forgot I had that and that and that and that and that." And it's like, wow.
I actually saw a character and was like, "Who is that? When did they come into the
game?" Hope I didn't pay money for him.
But yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it too is we've been doing it so long that we all get burnt out. Like all these guys can attest to me bitching at one point or another that I'm done. So we all get burnt out. Just like you guys, it's just a different way we get through it. It's like I play an event because sometimes I feel like I have to play an event, not because I want to play an event. And that's to get you guys the info. Like this upcoming event that's supposed to hit tomorrow, which I could talk about because by the time you guys see this, it'll already be in play. But Mozark, I have no desire to play this. I could care less. I told Pat the other day, I said, the only animals I care about are the ones on my plate. So...
the poor baby
cows.
But like I literally like I could care less about getting animals in my game. I care less. I mean, now I'm excited about the characters. Don't get me wrong. Sarah Wiggum is finally going to come into the game, and I'm thrilled. That's something that keeps me going.
Do with the zoo, though. That's the point.
Well, that's it. Yeah.
So, I mean, I looked at this thing. I usually can figure out something I'm really excited about or can keep me going on some level. This thing, I looked at it, I can be honest with you, and I saw it. I said, well, I'm going to buy Sarah Wiggum, and I might get the geyser that's coming back. Yay, that's it. The rest of it we do because we have to on some level. Because we're blogging about it,
But Joe loves everything. So
I'm so excited by this because I would have to dig, but I swear there was an entire reader conversation about the zoo should come, and then it was this explosion of and it could include this and this, and in my head I was like, that is the craziest idea. If all those things happen, it's happening tomorrow. It really feels like an Addicts, someone's like the zoo, and then they're like, and we could include that, and then we could include that, and yeah, I think just 2 people that used to go to our site now program EA.
Maybe.
Might be 2 people too.
We got Brittany Brockman coming, another character too. Yeah, so it's gonna be exciting.
I mean, the overall thing is though, it's like I said, there are things that we could care less about, and there are things that we just do because we kind of have to. But we suffer the same burnout you guys do, although. I feel like sometimes it's a little easier for us to get excited about something than it is for other people to get excited. I can always look past bugs and glitches and things like that because we've been doing this so long. I know that it's just a cycle. You might have a cycle of a lot of big bugs and glitches right now, but there was a period of time where we had 2 years without anything, and that's what'll happen. These things just run in cycles. So,
well, it's hard with a mobile game too because you're always getting new, programming platforms and phones, and they're making this game. There's a new iPhone coming out. Well, that phone didn't come integrally a way to work with TSTO. Yeah. So yeah, there's problems. And
did you see today in the new update? Nobody's talked about this, but maybe they have. Maybe I missed it. That you can turn on and off the animation for the Itchy and Scratchy Land.
Oh yeah,
that didn't happen today. That happened 3 weeks ago.
Oh, I just
clearly somebody doesn't read my
today.
No, I just got a notice about it today.
Yeah, today I got a notice for it when I downloaded.
Have you guys not tapped your attractions at all? Because
mine go.
Clearly, nobody reads my posts. Clearly.
Mine works fine.
I wrote about it 3 weeks ago. Actually, whenever the event, Safi knows what I'm talking about. When the event left, I put a post saying that you can now tap your animations and toggle them on and off.
I think people didn't realize it because there was a bubble that popped up today that said it.
Yeah, but you guys don't read my posts. I appreciate it.
That actually explains, though. That is an actual programming workaround that helps people that were having lag issues.
I actually told someone 3 days ago, they were complaining about the lag. I said, toggle your animations on and off. Tap it and turn it off. Oh.
Okay, Mom's not going to let this go. So it's okay, Mom. Okay,
it's just like in real life.
I'll take out the trash, okay?
Nobody listens to me.
So the way we do it is we just do. You either do or do not. There is no try. Like, just do it.
The longest I've taken off is 3 days in my entire tapping history. 3 days. So
longest for me is October 2014 when my Homer went missing.
That was 20. Wasn't that 2013?
2013 is when it maybe. I don't know. Was it that early in the blog?
I don't remember. I know you wrote a post about it, so we probably can find it.
I almost quit TSTO. I was so mad, but then you forget.
That's it.
Yeah. Then your husband promises he won't beat you anymore, and you're fine.
Wow.
We've been there. We've been recording.
It's going all dark.
All right, these next two questions are kind of similar, so I'm going to lump them together, and they're both for Wookiee. Mike says, in full Jerry Maguire shouting down the phone mode, where is the Wookiee? And
right
CJ
here.
Martin 04 says, when is Wookiee going to come back and be a regular contributor again? We miss him.
Right now.
This episode, and we won't hear from him for like 6 months.
I'm like, was that like, they're like, oh, this is going to be great. We're going to ask this question. He won't be there. They're going to be all mad. We're going to get the real dirt.
Stay with me. Show me the Wookiee.
Show me the Wookiee. I'm right here.
I can hear you.
That's funny. That's funny.
Congratulations. You're still my agent. Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, like Liz says, I don't get paid for school during the summer, so it's like a double-edged sword. That's when I have the most free time, when I'm not in school, and that's when I have to make money, so I'm not homeless. So, and the blog doesn't make tons of money. It's a fact. You know what I mean? I'm sure if yeah, I know exactly. And that's giving me snappy.
I got three. I I'll give one to each of you.
Nobody is on this site to like make money. That was never the goal. I mean, it was maybe a pie in the sky, but we quickly learned that was exactly what it was, and it's not there. There was one person who made a lot of money off the site.
That's why we wrote the book.
Yeah.
If I could make money off of this site, I would not have a day job.
Yeah. But yeah, so just lots of work and school's coming up, and I promise I will try, but like I said, do or do not. So I do my best. I don't give them time that I used to my podcast, just because there's not a lot of time. So
and we try to get them on Addicts Live.
Yeah. I really, really try to make every Addicts Live. If I can, I love these. Like, I love it. I love seeing their faces and catching up. They're my friends. We're all friends. So
you and me.
Do you still like seeing my face?
Of course. You glow. You're glowing.
With my Oscar the Grouch spectacles.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'll try. I'm halfway through watching all of the new season of The Simpsons, so I can like post something about it. But there's a lot of episodes. It's taken me a while. So
CJ Brown LV says we already answered the favorite theme park, so we'll skip that one, but also wants to know if anyone has played the Simpsons slot machine. Yes, I have actually.
I haven't.
I was in Atlantic City in the beginning of June, and I saw a Simpsons slot machine, and I made my husband sit down and play the slot machine with me. And we actually did pretty well. It was fun. I enjoyed that one. Fortunately, they don't have it in a mobile game yet. I'm very sad because I'm tired of losing money in slot machines. But yes, I've played it.
I have not.
I'm probably the only one that goes to a casino. So.
Yeah.
I want to play it.
It's. I assume it's in Vegas too. It was fun. I was going to take some pictures for the site and stuff, but you're not allowed to take pictures in the casino. So I didn't because I didn't want to get yelled at. Yeah. All right. Mosaic 216 says, do you regret signing the NDAs with EA?
I will stop laughing in about 10 minutes.
I don't know what's so funny.
Inside joke, baby. Inside
Pat
joke.
and I like this is what I mostly bitch about to Pat. No, I don't regret signing the NDA. However, I think the NDA is utterly useless. So
we have both been in jobs where we've signed a lot of NDAs, and something is really funny about this whole thing. But it's been of no great value so far, nor has it hindered us in any way.
The best part about the NDA is we get information in advance, which I like. I like knowing what's coming. The thing about it is once stuff hits the files, apparently EA says that you can release all the information you want, even though they tell us that we can't. So basically,
apparently you're being very.
I know I'm trying to like be kosher about this, but basically, it essentially renders the NDA utterly useless because it says that you can't release this information, but then it says you can. So.
See, I'm suspect about anybody that would write a question about the NDA. I think that's a plant from EA. They're trying to trip us up. We love the NDA. We think it's swell that everybody adheres to the NDA. Everybody does the NDA just right.
It hasn't changed the way that we do it, and all of us have signed it, and all of us have had to sign it because I couldn't get the information. Well, I could get the information, but I couldn't preview stuff without everybody signing it in case they incidentally saw something. But it doesn't change the way we do things. We've always done things the same way, where it's, even though I have all the, as soon as the game, like right now, I know everything that's going to happen with Mozark. I know exactly when Sarah Wigham's coming. I know, and I can say this because this is not happening until September. You're not going to see this, but I know when Gil's coming. I know what donut deal is what, I know all that information. I've always known that information. I've never shared that information with the readers on the site because there's a joy. And somebody actually said this today. They went ahead and read the wiki, and it had like synopsis for all 3 acts, and they severely regretted watching it or reading it because it ruined it for them. And that's why we don't give information out until it's actually physically live in the game, because there are a lot of people who prefer to know as it's live. They don't want to have the surprise ruined for them. Not only that, a lot of times this stuff changes. I can't tell you how many times EA has changed something in the files, whether it's a prize track amount or the donut cost for something, or even a release date on something. So,
which always screws my calendar up. Thanks, EA.
I mean, we try to use the information to the best of our advantage so that we can get a head start on knocking out posts. But, we still don't, even without the NDA, we'd still operate the same way we're operating now. We just wouldn't know what was coming in advance of it coming. Once it hit the files, we'd know, but that was it. So that's, So no, we don't. I don't regret signing the NDAs. I'm sure these guys don't either.
I mean, yeah, it'd be nice if they sent me the information since I signed it.
How do you forward it?
No, I got that first email with all this stuff, and then Liz was talking about all the new stuff, and I'm like, I didn't get the email. They were like, he doesn't write over there. Screw that guy.
Yeah, the interesting thing was our contact at EA was apparently gone for like 3 weeks because we kept getting the out of office response when we try and write about something. So yeah, it's a great relationship.
It's better than the one before. So.
We're just like this.
It's true. But I will say, like Pat said, he and I both have signed, in our industries have been involved with so many NDAs that we know how to give you guys information without violating the NDA, and how to kind of work around them ourselves and do things and say things in very general terms to avoid violating an NDA. So, that's another. The NDA doesn't faze me. Like it's not. It doesn't.
I have a secret security clearance, and I regret some of that.
All right. Amy says, Alissa, why is it that when on Addicts Live, instead of saying your name, it says TSTO Addicts? And I assume she means below me here in this box, this list of all of us here. It says TSTO Addicts. That's because I use the TSTO Addicts account to do this so that it goes onto the TSTO Addicts YouTube. Otherwise, if I used mine, it would go on my own personal YouTube, and that wouldn't make any sense. So that's why it says TSTO Addicts and not Alissa.
These are deep.
That's her real name. She's originally from Romania. It's right. In English, it's Alissa.
Her name is Sarah. All the letters are same.
Albear140 says, I found Wookiee's post on 123.15 called Hey EA, here's some more of what the addicts want. It's amazing how much has come true, although just as amazing as to how much hasn't. It gives me hope for a longer run of the game. What do you all think about this?
Yeah, I already kind of said
I think when you sent us this, it says 2105, and I was like, who is this man from the future? And why is this game still going?
It does say 2105. Yeah, you're right.
I was like, oh my God. Are we still doing this?
If I live that long, it's going to be amazing.
2105. Wow.
God.
Sorry,
yeah, no, I'm just trying to think. My shoulder is really going to hurt by then. No, I think it has to do with how long the Simpsons stay around, and I just don't think there's any real sign of them stopping. You know, everybody says they're going to quit after 30. I don't think so. I mean, their ratings are still decent. And the bigger the sphere gets of all the options and everything else out there, their ratings are like still solid, really solid. So
I sort of hope they end after 30 seasons, but that's just because I want like some of those voice actors to enjoy their retirements. You know what I mean? Like,
they're going to retire Apu. Apparently, that seems to be the running deal. But yeah, I don't know.
Well, I think also Julie. I mean, it really stinks, but Julie Kavner apparently isn't in the best of health. And you cannot have The Simpsons without Marge. I don't care what anybody says. I will stop listening, like watching. No Marge. Like she's like the heart of the show in so many ways.
I agree.
So I think unfortunately they're coming up on where they might have to. And
well, they're all old now. I mean, that's the thing. Harry Shearer is like 72, 73. That's really old. That's like almost 6 years older than I. No, I'm joking.
He just died.
I've been watching
quote.
I've been watching all these new shows like Voltron and DuckTales, and all these shows are back on TV with all new animation, all new voice actors and everything.
Yeah, and Muppet
How long do
Babies.
you think they would wait? Muppet Babies. Like, how long do you think they'd wait before bringing back The Simpsons with a whole new set of voice actors?
That's all up to Matt Groening.
I don't think they would. Because it's different, like, you know, Muppet Babies or Silverhawks or Thundercats or whatever. They didn't go 30 seasons, you know?
Right.
Like, that's a long time. But I'm excited. What, August 7th on Netflix is going to be Disenchanted, the new Matt Groening show?
Yeah. I was going to, along those lines, I watched last night the history of comedy that they've been doing on, I don't know which channel it is. Might be the History Channel.
Pat suddenly has like a halo over his head.
I know. I'm slowly but surely passing away. No,
go into the
light. It was an animation special, and they had a ton of interviews with early year 1, year 2 Simpsons cast. And Groening looks like he's about 12. It's hilarious. He has like a fake beard. So.
Back in 2013, I think it was, Wookiee wrote a post about the picture at Universal Orlando and Simpsons World of all the characters on the show. And you were like, this is the game that never ends. It'll go on and on and on, my friends, because there are so many more characters they can introduce. Like, really, if they wanted to, they could probably run this game for another 10 years.
Yeah,
easily.
Yeah, they could.
I don't think they will, but I think this game will eventually end. But
I won't be.
I can blog for another 10 years.
No, I can tell you, I won't be blogging in 10 years.
There is one more question that I did not I sent these guys the questions in advance. This one just came in late last night. And it says, here's a question. It's from Joffe2357. Says, here's a question for the live anniversary podcast, which I think is interesting in my opinion. You have the unique ability to review the past. The gift of hindsight is in digital print. 5-ish years of reviewable posts. Would anyone change a past post based on what you know today, and why?
on Addicts or on my old site?
Wait, what's the question?
Wants to know if you would change a post, knowing like today. If you could go back in time and change a post, would you change it knowing what you know?
Okay, listen, I'll just go ahead and go there. I'll go there. I absolutely decimated KEM farming for a very, 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 very long time, as everyone knows, much longer than I've actually been farming. And now, because of where the game is and where I am mentally, it's like, okay, I get it. There you go. I'm done. I'm a farmer. I am what I am. You know, it's like that first hit of heroin, the second hit, the third hit, the fourth hit. Anyway, yeah. So I would probably go back and not be such a complete jerk about farming. There's a good word. I was going to say the good word.
The jerk store called, and they're running out of you.
Yeah, that's right. I would go there. I've got this weird sun thing happening, which is why I'm glowing.
Cool. For me, I wrote this post about Quickie Mart farming that's been seen like 125,000 times or something like that. So if I could go back, I'd get rid of that post. No, I'm kidding.
I would at least get it if I could edit it. I almost edit it by taking out one of your gigantic graphs that you like have to like click 13 times to get into where you are. Then you lose where you are on the thing, and then you blow it up. It was like there was times I was cursing you. That's why I thought you were a mathematician. Only you, a mathematician, could enjoy that. But little did I know that if I kept going all the way down to the right, there's a peanut butter smudge down there in the corner of the
table. So back in the day when there was an actual feud between Patrick and us.
Imagine that.
I wrote a post because I was always the one that got, well, not always me, but I was designated the one that had to calm things down a lot of times. I wrote a post where I told Patrick indirectly to shove another bran muffin in his mouth because I think he needed more fiber. I probably would change that post.
I actually laughed at that when I saw it. I thought that was great. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Here's the thing that's funny about you. I will actually say this about you, Alyssa. Even when you're really trying to be nasty, you're really not very good at it. You're such a nice person. You're really not very good at it. So I used to read those and go, oh, man, she's really upset. She said bran muffin. She's pulling the ages.
Obviously, Pat doesn't know me very well.
Oh, no. I'm really nervous about you when you're quiet. That's the point.
Yeah.
Anyway.
See, I think mine is along the same lines. I was mad at Pat once, and I wrote a post about the restaurant analogy.
The meatball post.
And it was not nice, and it was very clever, and it was very mean.
But it was very well written.
And it was written like so. I put so much heart and effort into this awful post just to piss him off, and I succeeded. I pissed him off.
Oh, yeah.
Because then he wrote a post to make me bad about my mom. And like, if I could go back, I'm just because I'm like, even if I'm mad, I don't fight about it. I'm like, whatever, it doesn't matter. And that one, like, cause it's funny now because me and Pat are cool, but like, it was mean, and like the girls were like,
I was mostly worried about your mom. That was the thing. It's like, oh man, Wookiee's mom hates me. So
yeah,
anyway, yeah. That was some crazy time.
Or maybe that, or the what does the blog say post, because it put that what does the Fox song stuck in my head forever.
Oh man, I should have reposted that. I forgot all about that one.
You should post it. You should post that like tomorrow.
I'll have to put it up.
Tap it out. Tap it out.
I forgot about that.
That post actually deserved a Pat wrote about that one too. It said how musically unoriginal I was.
The thing that was hilarious is that for a while we didn't have anything else to write about except you guys. It was like oh, this is really boring. This is when Ryan was getting ready to fold up shop. But here's a good lesson to learn from this. This is where the old man steps off the hill. The fact is, we were full of vitriol back then. I mean, we were really going at it. And the reality was there's somebody else that we're not mentioning that was creating a lot of that. But the point is, we are all getting along now. You can do this.
So we can sit here and laugh about it.
No, I'm just saying you can do this. This is the thing that people need to learn a lesson and say, get over it, move on, try and be nice.
And I will say there are days when I tell Pat he needs to have another bran muffin. So.
Still, yes.
But I say it a little nicer.
I just know I'm going back and reading the meatball posts.
I don't know if I might have pulled it out.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. There was a lot of stuff we pulled back then.
So anyway, that concludes our questions, our Q&A video, which is run for probably about 2 hours now. I may have to break this up into 2 videos. We'll have to decide what we do.
I think 2 videos.
I think every year it ends up being 2 videos because it's just so much. Usually. Because whenever we're all together, it's hilarity ensues, especially when we get to reminisce about things.
I'm the funny one.
I quit. I'd forgotten all about those awful meme posts. I quit now. I'm done with it.
I'm a Star Wars.
So we thank everyone for sticking with us for the last 2 hours, but also for the last 5 years of support and allowing us to continue doing what we're doing. Because as I've said from the beginning, as long as you guys keep reading and watching, we will continue to post, or at least I will continue to post. Pat will always be there because, I give him the bran muffins.
I got nothing else to do.
Let's face it. He's an old man. He's got nothing else to do.
No kidding.
But so we appreciate everyone sticking with us the last 5 years, and here is to 5 more years. At least
2105, here we come.
and by the time everyone sees this, hopefully the newest addict will be born. And
little WrestleMania.
And if anyone else has anything they'd like to add before we sign off.
It's been a big ride. It's been a good ride. It's been fun, and we will continue to do it as long as the game is around. We don't have a choice. We're stuck. We're stuck with this. And for all those people that hate me,
as I tell people, don't feel bad. He's called me way worse.
This is true.
Hey, if it makes you mad, just write about meatballs and everything's okay.
Everything's fine. All right.
Laugh It Up Fuzzball. That's the podcast. There you go.
LaughItUpFuzzball.net. That's Joe's podcast.
Yeah. Laugh It Up Fuzzball podcast at gmail.com. Woo.
And Safi's podcast is I Am the Funny One.
I am the funny one. It's would anybody like a peanut? It's a podcast about the Princess Diary.
And on that note, we will see everyone on the next Addicts Live, which will be next month.
Live.
Yes, we're taking the rest of September off because I will have baby brain. So we'll be back in October. But thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for putting up with us for 2 hours plus 5 years. And
plus 5 years.
Plus 5 years. 2 hours plus 5.
Give or take.
We will see everyone next time. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.